boom. The spirit of the north so free and wide. The call of the wilderness is by our side. Bada bing, di 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 boom, big room, bada boom. The sun rises over Canada's mountains of ice in the Canadian wilderness, where the call of the wilderness travels through the endless forests of the Canadian wilderness. No borders in the Canadian wilderness, only freedom and light. This sight of the Canadian wilderness is never to be forgotten in the Canadian wilderness. Breathe in the clarity of the Canadian wilderness, the call of the wilderness in the Canadian wilderness. Let you be happy. Everywhere the Canadian wilderness, endless splendor, an epic sound from the Canadian wilderness awaken. Feel the ground in the Canadian wilderness, deep and heavy. The call of the wilderness pulls you even more into the heart of the Canadian wilderness. For it's a shadow in the Canadian wilderness, a luminous day. Everyone here in the Canadian wilderness follows their own way. No walls, no noise in the Canadian wilderness, and no stress. Here is the call of the wilderness in the Canadian wilderness, which you never forget. The bass in the Canadian wilderness carries us through the night, has awakened the beauty of the Canadian wilderness to life. The rivers in the Canadian wilderness rush, the eagles fly. We let the Canadian wilderness pull us to the horizon in the Canadian wilderness. High in the Canadian wilderness, so close to the mountains. That is the call of the wilderness, which was always in the high in the Canadian wilderness. Bada bing, bada boom. High in the Canadian wilderness. Hey. The peaks in the snow of the Canadian wilderness blow cold and eternal song from the Canadian wilderness in the ancient forest. Bada bing, bada la 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 la, bada boom, bada bing, diggy 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 diggy, zoom zoom. The stars in the Canadian wilderness, so clear and so pure. Through the call of the wilderness in the Canadian wilderness, we are never alone. Hands up in the Canadian wilderness, you feel the power here, the Canadian wilderness, and us, a single we in the Canadian wilderness. Standing together as one strong spirit in the Canadian wilderness, hand in hand. The call of the wilderness burns in the Canadian wilderness, all over the land. Let the pulse beat through your veins. Carry the call of the wilderness in the Canadian wilderness in your heart. Bada bing, house music, party time. Bada boom, bada bing, di 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 di, zoom zoom, boom 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 boom. Do you hear the rhythm of the Canadian wilderness that connects everything? Where one finds freedom to the call of the wilderness in the Canadian wilderness. 1, 2, 3. The Canadian wilderness is free. Yo, the horizon in the Canadian wilderness calls. The day is done. Yo, the call of the wilderness shines in the Canadian wilderness at night. It was a mighty day in the Canadian wilderness. The journey is complete. The call of the wilderness in the Canadian wilderness keeps us sound. Oh, oh, bada bing, bada boom. The Canadian wilderness now fills the room. In the Canadian wilderness, DJT. In the Canadian wilderness, the bass is fade in the wind. There, where we are at home. In the Canadian wilderness, I love his music. I love his music. La 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 la. Forever the Canadian wilderness until eternity. DJTW93. Diggy 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 diggy. DJT. calls you, and the Canadian wilderness awakens.